Hey everybody, just a little quick update about the saltwater story. I know I said that was going to be the next episode after the 1973 story, but I was giving a little story about Brian France the last minute. But don't worry folks, I am still working on the saltwater story. I just got started with the script, so give me some time. However, I hope you guys enjoy this story. It is pretty interesting, and the saltwater story is coming soon. Thank you for your patience, and thank you guys for understanding. Enjoy the video. So a week and a half ago, I got home from having a dinner celebration, celebrating my sister's 11th birthday. It was an amazing one. The food was great. Anyway, so after I got home and changed clothes and chilled in my room, as usual, like an introvert. And then I checked out my Facebook. I got a reply from someone about what I replied to another person. The first person was talking about NASCAR's downfall. Yeah, we got plenty of those on Facebook. Anyway, I replied to the first guy saying, you can thank Brian France for almost killing NASCAR, as usual. After that comment, I got another reply from another guy. It was the guy. I want to give a shout out to the guy for the story. He gave me permission to make this video. He wants to remain anonymous and go by the name of Crucci from Langley. He replied, Brian France was an airhead back in 1985. That was when I had more questions. I was so curious. I wanted to know more about his story of Brian France. Then he messaged me about the story because for some reason he could not reply back to me because it was not responding or something like that. I don't know, some issue. So then he messaged me. Here's a story about Brian France. So the Crucci from Langley met Brian France at an awards banquet from Langley Speedway in Hampton, Virginia. The banquet was held at the Fort Monroe Officers Club. Brian France was representing NASCAR. The Crucci from Langley goes on and tells me, quote, when he spoke, the people there just looked at each other in amazement over some of the ridiculous things he said. We talked about it for a long time afterward. Brian was condescending and downright rude to some of the honorees, end quote. I know what some of you guys are thinking. How rude can Brian France be, although he's a huge dumbass? Well, I will tell you guys. Anyway, so the Crucci from Langley goes on and talks about Brian France handing out the awards for different classes that raced at the Langley Speedway track. Some of his remarks were fairly normal. Brian France gave the first place driver an effusive congratulations for having a huge points finish over second place. How ironic, because he changed the point systems into a ball sports gimmick. Then he told the second place driver, great job, well fought, best of luck next season. And this is where it gets bad. He tells the third place driver, and I seriously kid you not, quote, hey, third place, what can I say, end quote, with a nervous laughter broke down after the comment. That was when the Crucci from Langley's date turned to him and asked him, is he for real, end quote. The Crucci from Langley thought that Brian was pranking everybody, but Brian was dead serious. Yeah, that is the most fucked up and the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard than the time Brian just run off stage after giving the championship ring to the 2017 Cup Series champion, Martin Truex Jr. Yes, guys, that was our former CEO of NASCAR. That was the man who was in charge. What the hell? So everybody knows what he did on August of 2018. He ruined a special moment of Chase Elliott's first Cup win at Watkins Glen, the most popular moment in NASCAR for a long time, by getting arrested in New York for DUI in the possession of oxycodone. What a way to ruin such a special moment. Ugh. Anyway, so remember what I said about the Crucci from Langley saying Brian France was an airhead back in 1985 from Facebook? I asked how did he know that? How did he know that Brian was a druggie in 85? Or even before that? He replied by saying, I didn't. From our brief conversation that night, I did not even think about drugs. I just thought that he was an imbecile. My partner driver and his wife, who was a psychologist, and I talked about it from the drive home from the banquet, we concluded that he was a goober. So that's the end of the short story of the Crucci from Langley's small and only interaction with Brian France, and I gotta say, I think we should have been warned about Brian France being in NASCAR. Ooh, boy. Anyway, so I want to give a shout out one more time to the Crucci from Langley for telling me this story. Thank you so much for telling me this story. Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment, like, and subscribe for more. Follow my social accounts. Instagram, I'm Ian Perez 25 and Ian Perez 40_YT. Like my Facebook page, Ian NASCAR 40-E Nation Films. Don't forget to turn on my YouTube channel notifications for more content. Follow me on Reddit. All the links are in the descriptions below. Thank you guys so much for supporting Ian Nation. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Racing Stories. And I just hope that NASCAR fixes themselves to be a motorsports series again in the future. And hopefully they can learn from the Brian France era. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for supporting Ian Nation. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.